Today we're going to be talking about Xcaret Arte, an adults-only, all-inclusive, magical wonderland of a resort located in Cancun. We're going to cover rooms, amenities, food, and so much more. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Xcaret Arte. I have a lot of content around Xcaret Arte in the channel, so be sure to check that out. And if it's your first time, be sure to subscribe. I really appreciate all of y'all's support. Okay, so the first thing that you'll notice when you show up to Xcaret Arte is just how unique of a hotel this really is. It's not going to be anything, it's not like a cookie cutter, commercialized hotel experience. This thing is in a category of its own. So there's massive breezeways, there's lots of clean lines, there's some really cool stone or mason work. I think the first thing that you'll probably notice is that it doesn't feel like you're in a hotel. It feels like you're really in some kind of village area, but it's like very high end, very secluded, and it's just really nice. And honestly, the architecture itself, like you can't put it in one style. Like it's Mexican, mid-century, green, but it's also modern too. So it's really unique. And if you do get a chance to stay here, you're not going to regret it. If you want to see what the hotel looks like, obviously outside of just this video, I do have a walkthrough of the entire property. I'll link that in the description below, and I'll also tag it here in the video. So be sure to check that out. That video has over 100,000 views already. It's literally just a walking video, but people seem to really attach to that. And the hotel operators are also very happy with it as well. A lot has changed, I think, since 2022 when we went. Mostly though, it's the price, and I'll get to that in a moment. First of all, let's talk about the rooms. So the rooms are they blend really well with the rest of the resort. We don't spend a ton of time in a room anytime we travel, because really we want to be out there and kind of experiencing what else they have to offer. But these rooms are very comfortable. And for me, like I'm an early riser, every room has a hammock. And so I'm an early riser. I wake up in the morning, make my coffee while my wife is still sleeping. And I hung out in that hammock basically every single day. Or if she's getting ready while we're, going out to dinner, I take a quick nap. It's really comfortable. But again, we didn't spend a ton of time in it. I think the coolest part of the room for me was just like the tapestry that you have, and really depending on which house you stay in at the hotel, because they're kind of separated by houses, is really going to determine what the internal decor is going to look like, because it's very themed. Like there's a music theme, there's a arts theme, there's a tapestry theme, so stuff like that. It really is just going to depend on where you stay. But the room is really great. The one thing I will say though is that we booked we were going for Valentine's Day, and so I kind of wanted to upgrade the room itself. We went in 2022, so prices were much cheaper than they are now that everybody's traveling a lot more. So I upgraded to the swim up room, and honestly, I don't say I would recommend it. I don't know if that's controversial or not. Some people might love their swim up rooms, but here it just didn't feel like it was an actual swim up. It felt more like a room that has a cold plunge outside. It's kind of how it felt to me. Two reasons why I would not recommend it, for the price. The first being that, the water in that, the swim up pool is going to be colder than the water that's at the other pools on the resort. I don't know why. It's probably just like to save on cost, so they don't have to heat everything all the time. I didn't really see anybody using them, and there was quite a few people, but the hotel overall just never feels like it's crowded. It felt like there was people, especially like in the pool areas and stuff, but when you're out in your room or you're just walking around the property, you feel like you're there by yourself, kind of, in a way, which is really cool. But I didn't see anybody really using their swim up pool. I also don't think it probably just doesn't get cleaned as often as like the regular pools, and then even the river at the property. That's kind of the first thing. The second thing I think is it's not really a swim up. Like it ends after, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 rooms down, and it's just kind of like a little mini river. Like maybe if it connected to the rest of the property somehow, and like you could legitimately swim from like the pool area, you could trudge along in this little waist height water all the way to your room, that would be pretty cool. But again, like that's not what this is, and maybe I was just expecting something else, and maybe nobody does it that way, which is fine. But I just don't see the benefit in paying extra for it. if you know, or if you enjoy those kinds of things, like please let me know why. Like comment below and let me know why you think a swim up is kind of worth it. Maybe it's a privacy thing, I don't know. But it's just for Xcaret Arte, like I personally would not recommend it here. What I would recommend is hanging out on the rest of the property. Like there is, according to the website, they say there's 15 outdoor pools. I'm not really sure how they get that number, because from when we were there, I counted like 4. So it is located right next to Xcaret Mexico, which is the more family friendly one. So Xcaret Arte is newer. Xcaret Mexico is right next door. You get access to both. So maybe they're including the pools that are on that side as well, in which case that makes a little more sense. The main pool in this area has a restaurant. It's like an infinity pool. So it has a restaurant, swim and bar, and we spent most of our days there. Honestly, like it was a great pool. There's a more shallow end if you just kind of want to like lay down. There's a deeper end, and again, you know, there's a swim and bar if you ever need drinks or things like that. There's also wait staff that are walking around all the time. You can get on a lounger, you know, just spend an entire day in the pool, walk to the restaurant that's right, you know, located on the spot. That place is called Cayuco, and I'll get to that in a minute. There's also 3 swim-up bars which have this like cool waterfall built in, kind of like this, you know, fake waterfall built in. It's nice if it's maybe a little bit colder day. These pools tend to be a little bit warmer, so I think there was a day or two where we spent more time there just because the pool itself was warmer. And obviously, like, you can hang around the bar and talk to people and the staff if you really feel like it. But those pools are they're more for like hanging out, because I believe they're only like waist deep at the deepest, so you're not going to be swimming around. If you want to swim, you go to the main pool located kind of in the center of the property. One of the coolest features of Xcaret Arte, and obviously Xcaret Mexico, which is next door, is this river that goes around the entirety of the property. Like, I had to ask multiple times because I wasn't sure if this is like, is it real or is it man-made? Because it looks like it's, you know, it's too good to be man-made. It's too convenient to be man-made. But according to them, the rocks that are there were there before. What the owners did was they dug deep enough until they got to the water below. Now, I swam in it, and yeah, it's about the same temperature as the ocean. It's still salt water. You can rent a longboard, you can get a kayak, you can just swim. And it was a really cool experience, because you almost feel like you're not at a hotel. You feel like you're in the wilderness somewhere, you know? It's really beautiful and honest, and they also have a little mini beach that's kind of located there next to another restaurant. So if you needed to spend a day and you kind of want to be a little more secluded, you could be here. The beach is much cleaner. It's not rocky like the main beach. Speaking of, I did walk over to the main beach, you know, just to kind of dip my feet in. There is signs that say you should wear sandals if you're going to go in the water. There's lots of lifeguards there. According to others, like Playa del Carmen is considered, it's like a rocky beach, so you're not going to be spending your day at the beach there. It was fine. Like I'm not a beach person. We kind of tend to spend most of our time in the pool areas, but we did spend quite a bit of time in the sandy part that's located next to the river. So according to the staff, it is natural, but then, you know, obviously they had to dig down to get to the water, and so if you need a place you kind of want to be in the shade, or maybe you just want to take a nap or sunbathe, you can do it all in this beach area. And then if you get hungry, there's a restaurant like 10 steps away from you. Okay, speaking of food, let's talk about the restaurants. So there's 10 restaurants located on the property, which is really like 10 food venues. They're not necessarily 10 actual restaurants. But the first one that we went to was we had dinner the night that we showed up. It's called Artisanal. It's in that beachy area that I mentioned. It's open air seating, and they got these like really cool like swinging chairs located next to the tables. The food there was pretty good. I was surprised as to how good the quality of the food was here. You know, if you're going to an all-inclusive, you kind of expect, like, it's like going to a buffet, right? Like, you're spending X amount of dollars to go to this buffet. Your expectation is going to be pretty low that the food quality is actually good, because you're only spending like $30 or $40 or whatever at this buffet. So you kind of, you know, you temper your expectations. And so I think when we were coming here, the only other place we've been to in the past was the Moon Grand Palace, and we were like, the food was okay there. So we had our expectations set pretty low, and we were like pretty surprised because the food was actually really good. Not every place had really good food, but a lot of these spots had really, really tasty food. Artisanal is one of them. Highly recommend them for dinner. We also went there for lunch a couple times. They have a hot dog, which is kind of weird because, but it was really good. And they also have quite a few seafood dishes and like more meat-based type of things there. So it's definitely a good option for dinner. In addition, there's Cantina, which is Cantina VIP. That one's a live music bar. That one's not really like a restaurant so much as it is like a bar / tapas place, which has live music. And that we spent every single day going to Cantina VIP. We're people watchers, by the way. So we spent every single day going to Cantina VIP, just like talking, have a good time. We met a few couples, and it's really fun to watch the live music, and every now and then people get up and like start doing dances and stuff. I don't dance. I'm sorry, I don't dance, so I didn't do that. But watching other people's dance was pretty fun. In addition, there's another place called Encanta. This one is also music themed. It's a prefix menu, and the dishes come out. They got like these really fun presentations. Like one of them looked like a slug on a leaf, but really it was like a marshmallow. I don't know if that sounds weird to you. It was pretty good though. Like the food there was pretty good. It's a little more smart casual dress, so you kind of want to dress up just a little bit for that. There's also Chino Poblano, which is a prefix restaurant, so it's a Chinese prefix. I wasn't too impressed with Chino Poblano. We're from Seattle, so we are blessed with a lot of Asian cuisines here and a lot of really good restaurants here. And so going there was just kind of like, it was okay. Like nothing really special. They also serve edamame, which I'm pretty sure is not part of Chinese cuisine. So I don't know, that's kind of up to you guys. Tashido, so Tahixido, Shido, is a sushi place. They also have a hibachi grill. I know there's a lot of people love hibachi. I'm not a huge fan. It's just you're mixing a ton of stuff. You go there for the presentation, right? So I spent more time eating the sushi, which was really good, especially if they have fatty tuna toro at that time. I had that dish a few times because it was really good. You can't really mess up if it's good fish, and it's raw. You can't really mess it up. You don't have to do a lot to it. It was really good. Mercado San Juan, this restaurant's located kind of in the central. It's really more of like that traditional buffet. They have a lot of different cuisines. Obviously, most of it is Mexican. Really good. They also have they're making enchiladas made to order, so you kind of get to pick your meat and your salsa and things like that. That was pretty good. We went there for lunch a few times. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed in was the in-room dining. So there was one night where we weren't feeling too great, and we kind of just decided to have a night in. So we did order some late night room service, and I guess it doesn't come from the restaurants that are near there. They have a kitchen where they just make items specific for room service, and it wasn't great. I think we ordered like tacos, and they weren't great, but they have great tacos at the other places here. So I don't understand why. Maybe it's the chef, maybe it's the prep method, maybe people aren't ordering room service as much, I guess. Either way, it wasn't great, and honestly, like, you'd be better off just like going out and getting some food. There's also a club, like a nightclub. So during the day, it's closed. It's like a speakeasy. You have to walk down these the alleyways and like behind and into the service entrance of this building, and eventually you end up in like this like legit nightclub. It's not for me personally. Like, we went in there one evening when it was popping, and we were like, all right, cool, we're out. The cool thing that we did discover though was like just outside of that entrance where you go down the hallway to go to the Speakeasy, they have street tacos, and these don't open until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So obviously, people go to the club to get wasted, need some calories or some food, carbs, and so they open this taco cart just outside. That was really good. The tacos were really good. And so it's just too bad we didn't find out about it until towards the end of our stay. Otherwise, we would have gone there like every evening. But like I said, they don't open until 9 or 10 at night. Usually I'm not thinking about food at that time because it's kind of late. But we did just because we wanted to see what was going on with this nightclub. And so that's when we found out this taco cart. And so we were pleasantly surprised. So if you do get a chance to go, make sure you don't miss that. In addition, there is a spa area, and this place is pretty cool to check out if you just want to go hang out in like a secluded, hot tub / pool / kind of just like relaxing area. You can definitely go there. If you want a massage, obviously you got to pay, or you can do the timeshare spiel and sit with somebody for about 2 hours. You have to, the guy was nice. He was really nice. He was very friendly. He was a great salesman, honestly. Like, you start here and you start going down until like, well, what, how much can you pay for this timeshare? We didn't get it. We didn't get the timeshare, but what that does is you then get like a certificate to go to the spa, and then, you get a massage for like I think it was hour massage or something like that. That alone was kind of worth it. Like, if I went back, I probably wouldn't go through the timeshare thing again. I'd probably just pay the however much it was. I think it was like $80 or $100 for like a hour long massage, which is expensive. Like typically people get massages on the beach in Cancun, I hear, for like $5-10, but the atmosphere is great. You get a private room with like a balcony that goes out to the river. The whole place it kind of feels like this like very serene cave, which it sounds weird, but it's really nice. When you're there, like you're walking through these hallways, it's like you feel like you're led into this like experience, and then you show up to this like room, and there's like the beds are there, and they've got you got a separate coffee bar, and like it was just a really nice time. And honestly, like that was one of the highlights of the trip, was going to that spa, and so we really enjoyed that. And if we go back, I'd be willing to pay for it. Okay, and speaking of paying for it, obviously want to talk about price, because a lot has changed in terms of price. So my wife and I went in February 2022. This was just when we were coming out of the pandemic, places were reopening, there was a lot less travel restrictions, Cancun being one of them. And so when we went for 7 nights, we paid $4,500 with flights included, which isn't bad. Like you'd spend at least that much going to Hawaii, and that's not including any of the food. So including food and drinks and everything, it was definitely worth it. Now I checked, you're looking at around $8,000 for a week. So $900 to $1,200 to $1,500 per night. You want to book through like Expedia or something so that you can get the flights kind of basically included as part of that. That's kind of the tough part now, is just justifying the price. Kind of depends on you. Like, is Xcaret Arte worth it? I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's worth it for everyone to go there, just given the price. Now, I did post a couple shorts, and one guy mentioned, he's like, well, I could drink $200 worth of alcohol every single day. Easy. If that's your thing, sure, go for it. If you can afford it, if this is not, if you're not spending like a crazy amount of money, that part of your budget, to go to this hotel, then yeah, definitely do it. I think the experience is going to be worth it. You're going to want to come back every single year. Like, guaranteed, you'll have a good time. But again, it's hard to recommend a place when it's that expensive to go. Like, if you're, depending on the room you book, you could be spending $10,000 for a week. Like, is that worth it? I don't know. What's your financial situation like, right? Like, what kind of trips are you used to taking? So that really is going to depend a lot on you. But if I were you, I'd consider like, okay, how much am I going to be able to, how much am I going to be spending on food? How much am I going to be spending on drinks and activities and things like that if you go somewhere else, added with, the cost of the hotel and the flight. So it really just kind of depends on you and what your financial situation is like. I think you're going to have a great time. I think definitely look out for the deals. Don't book the swim up room, because it's not worth it. Like, I don't see the benefit. If there's other hotels that you guys are watching and you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, there's other better hotels out there. If you've been to Xcaret Arte and there's better hotels out there, like, let me know. I really want to go, because I legit want to know what are some of the best places out there. We have another upcoming trip here coming soon, so obviously I'll post that on the channel. But if there's other places that you would recommend that you feel are like better than Xcaret Arte, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Be sure to check out the channel. There's a lot of great content and walkthroughs, and there's a lot more to come in the future, and I appreciate your support. We'll see you guys next time.